All right, we'll get started then. So welcome to another great day. For this first part, you can either sit on the floor if you want to sit in a chair. Either way will work. And we're going to start out with a little bit of breath work. I think we've done this breath before, but if not, I'll just give you a little lesson here. So we're going to do straw breath. And straw breath it's very easy. All you do is you take a nice, slow, long breath in through the nose. And then when you exhale, you're going to purse your lips, just like if you were drinking out of a straw, only you're going to obviously exhale. And so you'll do that. You want to exhale completely. So make sure that all the air goes out of your lungs. And then as soon as you get down to the bottom of that breath, just take another breath in. So it's circular in fashion. As soon as you get down to the bottom of the exhalation, take another slow, long breath in. And then you're going to slowly exhale again with pursed lips. And we're going to do this for about a minute or so. Just go at your own pace. I'm not going to we'll all breathe in together the first time. But other than that, everybody's breath is going to be a little bit different, a little bit longer, shorter, whatever. So we'll just do this for about a minute. So go ahead, take that first deep, long, slow breath in through the nose. And then again, with pursed lips, begin to exhale as slow as you can. One of the main things as you're doing this breath is to make sure that you completely exhale. So even if your mind is telling you that you're at the bottom of that exhalation, see if you can push a little bit more of the air out so that you completely exhale. And then again, immediately go right back into your next inhalation. Maybe close down your eyes here. Think of relaxing the neck and your shoulders as you do this. With each exhalation, you're letting go just a little bit more. We'll go another like 30 seconds. Relax the arms, relax your hands. Notice the contraction and expansion of the rib cage as you inhale and exhale. And then the next time you get down to the very bottom of that exhalation, then simply return to your natural breath. Relax your hips, the thighs, the legs, the toes, your feet. And then from here, you can open your eyes and we're going to continue our practice with our immune boosting exercise here. So we'll start with one of the legs and start at the ankle and then do your little bit of massaging up the leg. And then we swipe, sort of this wiping motion. Remember, we always go up towards the heart. And then lastly, go ahead and tap. And then we'll do that same thing with the other leg. So start with your massaging. And then do your wiping or swiping. And then you're tapping. Really recommend, if at all possible, do this every single day. Get in the habit of doing it. I like doing it first thing in the morning. All right. Now, we'll go to the back or behind the knees here and just do a little bit of massaging. And then starting with one leg, move up, massage up towards the hip. And then do your swiping. And then you're tapping. Starting at the knee, we're working up towards the hip. And then we'll do the other leg. Do some swiping. Wiping motion up the leg. Sweeping. And then the tapping. All right. Now, do some tapping around the lower belly, torso area here. And a little bit behind by the kidneys, lower back. And then let's do the arms. So we start with massaging. And again, you start at the wrist and then go up towards the shoulder. And then do that swiping motion. And then tapping. All right, other arm, massage first. And then swiping, that sweeping motion up the arm. And then tapping. And then let's do underneath the arms here, the armpit area. Let's do some massaging. We've got a lot of lymph nodes underneath the arms and behind the knees. And then, of course, the other arm. And then do that same thing behind the ears, the neck, the upper shoulder area. You can swipe a little bit here as well, like a little massage. And then some tapping right at the chest. Or Tarzan move. All right. Let me turn on light here. Give me just a little bit more light. Seem like I'm in the dark. Okay. All right. So let's do a little bit of stretching. next and move into our yoga. So let's start by bringing our hands to the thighs. And again, if you're seated, that's fine on the mat. That's fine too. If you're seated on the mat, you might want to bring, you can have the hands here on the thighs, or you can bring, we're going to start with the left hand on either the mat or your thigh here. And then what you're going to do is bring that other arm up and then bend into that. And just do a nice stretch here. Think of stacking the shoulders. So as you come forward, if you're coming forward this way, see if you can keep that back flat and stack your shoulders here. And then bring that hand down, and then we're going to do that on the other side. So bring the arm up and then bend into it. So we're getting a nice stretch on that whole side of the body. You've got these nice little flat muscles in between the ribs. It's called your intercostal muscles. And so this exercise is not just for the shoulders and your arms, but it's also stretching out those intercostal muscles that are between the ribs on the rib cage here. And let's do that one more time on the other side. All right, and then let's bring both arms up. And now we're going to do a slight twist here. So you're going to turn, let's all turn to the right side and bring the arms down. That right hand can be behind you for a little bit of support here. And then think of rolling the shoulders down away from the ears. Sit up nice and tall. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. Nice, gentle twist. We're not forcing anything here. And then stay in your twist. Bring the arms up overhead and then turn and twist all the way over to your left side. Bring the hands down. That left hand is behind you. That right hand is probably on the outside of the thigh. That'll give you just a little bit of leverage. But again, we're not pulling, pushing, forcing anything here. Think about those shoulders. Bring them down away from the ears. Chin is parallel to the floor. You're sitting up nice and tall. And let's do that one more time on each side. So bring the arms up and then turn and twist and bring the arms down. Roll those shoulders back and down. Sit up nice and tall. As you're holding this pose, you're breathing in and out through the nose. The body is relaxed, the face is relaxed, your jaw, the mouth. Let's bring the arms back up overhead, and then again, turning all the way to your left, bringing the hands down, that left hand behind you. The right hand probably on the outside of the leg. Again, just a little bit of leverage, but don't force anything here. And then raise the arms up, come back to center, and then bring the hands down. With our hands here, we're going to do some big circles here. So we're loosening up the lower back into the hips, your thighs. Get a nice full range of motion. As we do these exercises, you shouldn't feel any pain. If you're feeling any pain, you definitely want to back off of that. Maybe not go quite as intense. These exercises are a very gentle yoga. You can also think of it as a gentle stretch class here. So we're stretching, creating a little bit more space in the body, but we're not being aggressive. All right, and then sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. And even when we go in the opposite direction, sometimes we can feel something a little bit different than what we did the other way. Sometimes there's a little bit of lower back issue or maybe a hip issue here. So just be cognizant of that. Be gentle with your body and respect where your body is. Remember, it's not a competition. There's no judgment, anything like that. Just do the best you can with what you got today. All right. And then we're going to add the arms into that. So interlace your fingers here, hands together. And then like you're stirring a big bowl or pot of soup here. You might feel like you're using the abs a little bit more, which you are when you do it this way. You're still releasing tension in that lower back and your hips, but you're also using the abdominal muscles when you bring the arms up. All right, and then of course we want to go the other direction. All right, and then let's work the shoulders and your neck a little bit here. So let's do some nice big shoulder rolls here. Think of making a big circle with the elbows. Oh, Roseanne says she can't see me. Oh, you're offline. So you might, Roseanne, you might want to just go out and then come back in. You should be able to come back in and go the other way. Sometimes that happens with the internet connection, but it's telling me that you're offline. So it's not me, it's your internet connection. So we're going the other way now. And when you do these too, you might feel or hear a little cracks and creaks, that sort of thing. So go ahead and just release that. So those little cracks and creaks, a lot of times, especially in the joints, it shouldn't hurt. If you're feeling any pain, again, you want to back off. But if you're feeling or hearing those little cracks or pops, what that is it's usually your ligaments. Actually, think of your ligament as like a rubber band, right? And that band is really tight. And when you're moving that, it's sort of like if you had a little rubber band and you were plucking it, and you know that little cracking sound that you hear on a rubber band. It's the same way with your ligaments. It's just a way to loosen those up. And so sometimes that little popping and cracking that you hear is actually your ligaments. And what you're doing is you're loosening that up a little bit so that hopefully eventually you won't have those little cracks and creaks. So that's what that's all about. And it's not just your shoulders, right? It's all over in your body. You've got ligaments all over. So that's what that is. All right, now let's work the neck a little bit. So we're going to bring the shoulders down away from the ears first. Sit up nice and tall, and then bring the chin down towards the chest. And simply allow your head to hang here. We're not forcing anything. If you want, you can do a few little micro movements, just moving the head a little bit from side to side. Very small little micro movements. And sometimes that helps to loosen up any tightness in that upper spine area. You might feel like you get a little bit lower with the chin when you do that. And then lift the chin so that now it's parallel to the floor. And then let's move left to right and keep that chin parallel to the floor. And then bring the chin over to your right side, and then we'll hold this for a couple of breaths. In our yoga practice, we usually breathe in and out through the nose. And then let's move the chin all the way over to the other side and then hold that. Notice your breath here. And try not to control the breath right now. Just watch your body breathe in and out. And then come back to center and then bring the chin back down towards the chest. Again, if you want to maybe just rock a little bit from side to side here, little micro movements might help to loosen up that upper spine. And then let's lift the chin. And now what we're going to do is we're going to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Again, if you want to make a few little minor movements here, little micro movements, move the chin front and back. But the movement is real subtle. Just little micro movements. And try to keep that opposite shoulder down away from the ear so you get that nice stretch all the way up through the neck. And then bring the head up through center, and then let's do that same thing on the other side. So we're dropping that ear towards the shoulder. Again, if you want to take a few little micro movements here, just moving the chin slightly forward and back, go ahead and do that. And remembering too to keep that opposite shoulder down away from the ear. Feel that nice stretch on the side of the neck. And then we're going to bring the head back up through center. We're going to drop that right ear towards the right shoulder again. This time bring the right hand up and place it on the head. So we're not pulling or pushing or anything here. Just allow your hand to be right on the head, resting there. And that'll open up that opposite side, maybe just a little bit more. And then we're going to take that left arm and stretch it out and point the hands or the fingers down towards the mat. And now you should feel that nice stretch from the fingertips all the way up through that left side. And then gently release that side. And then we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Bring the left hand, just place it on the head. Again, it's just resting there. We're not pulling or pushing. And then start to bring that right arm out and point the fingers down towards the earth. Stretch the arm out. And then gently release that. All right, so now we've loosened up the neck into the shoulders, your lower back. Let's work the legs, your feet a little bit here. So if you're sitting in a chair, bring one foot up so that it's a little bit off the floor. And then we're going to start out by pointing and flexing that foot. This is very good for the ankle joint. Loosening up, creating a little bit more space in that joint. It's also very good for the tops of the feet, the toes. It's good for the back of the leg. You're probably feeling a little bit of a stretch in the back of the leg, especially in the calf. This is also very good for the immune system. It's, again, that pumping action, and it's good for the circulatory system because it's also pumping the blood flow here. So simple exercise, but actually very powerful. All right, bring that foot down, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So point and flex. Try to get a nice full range of motion here. Again, there should be no pain. If you're feeling any pain, you want to back off of that. All right, let's go back to that first foot, and now we're going to do some ankle circles. Go nice and slow so that you can get a full range of motion here. My feet are actually really sore today. I hiked about 9 miles a couple of days ago, so my feet are still feeling it today, especially when I do this exercise. Didn't really realize it until I was doing this, and it's like, whoa, I'm really feeling it in the feet here. All right, then go the other direction. It's been so nice out. I went up to Withlacoochee State Forest. It's about an hour away from Tarpon. It's a beautiful forest. I am slowly becoming obsessed with the trails up there. They're absolutely incredible trails. All right, let's do the other foot here. Do some nice big circles. There's quite a bit of elevation, believe it or not, and it's rocky and hilly, and I actually feel like I'm on the Appalachian Trail. And I've heard a lot of people go to Withlacoochee State Forest to actually train to hike the Appalachian Trail. So, and it's very close. It's only an hour away. So anyway, I've done 3 trails. I'm already deciding what trail I'm going to do next. Okay, go the other way. The next trail that I do is about 14 miles. So I have to work up to that one. That'll be an all-day trip for sure. But again, I'm really feeling my feet today. The tops of my feet are a little sore. All right. Okay, so we loosened up the feet a little bit of circulation going. Let's stand up. If you don't feel comfortable standing up, remember that you can do most of these exercises sitting as well. So, all right, let's do a little bit of flow here. Let's bring our feet fairly close together. They don't have to be touching, but you want to feel nice and secure here. So if I came up to you and just kind of nudged you a little bit, you would feel like you can hold yourself, that you can balance yourself. You want to be stable. All right. Then from here, inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And you can bring the hands together. And then as you exhale, we're going to press the hips just a little bit forward. Just create a slight back bend here. And then as you inhale, come up. And then exhale, we're going to bring the hands right above the knees. Keep the back fairly flat. You can see from the side here, my back is flat. And then as you inhale, we're going to bring the belly out and look up. And then as you exhale, tip the tailbone in and bring the chin into the chest. And then come back to a nice flat neutral spine. And then as you inhale, raise the arms up overhead, and then exhale into heart. And we're going to repeat that. Now, before we do it again, one of the things that I should point out is, let's talk about the neck and the shoulders a little bit. And I'm going to turn this way so you can see what's happening with my neck. When you go into this back bend here, it's all about pressing the hips forward. Notice that my neck and my head do not change at all. So it's all about just pressing out. And the knees will be bent just a little bit when you do that as well. But try when you go into this, try not to bring the head back like that. It's not very good for the spine. You can get a little bit of compression there. And so it's really important when we do these little back bends that you just move the hip area, the lower abdomen area out. Okay, so with that, let's inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, do that slight back bend, just pressing the hips forward, knees are slightly bent. Inhale, rise on up, and then exhale, we bring the hands right above the knees. Again, the back is flat at this point. And then as you inhale, you're bringing the tailbone out and the head up. Think of bringing the belly out away from you. You're opening up the front of the spine here. On your next exhalation, tip the tailbone in, bring the chin into the chest, and really think of opening the back of that spine. It's like a Halloween cat. And then come back to a flat, neutral back. And then as you inhale, raise the arms up overhead, and then exhale into heart. Let's do that a few more times. So inhale, raise the arms up. Press the hips forward, create that slight back bend. Don't move the head or the neck. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bringing the hands right above the knees. Inhale, the belly comes out. Think of opening up the front of your spine. And then as you exhale, think of opening up the back side of your spine. Come to a neutral spine, flat back, and then inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale into heart. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale. Press the hips forward. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bringing the hands right above the knees. Inhale. Think of bringing that spine out away from you, belly out away from you. On your next exhalation, tip the tailbone in, chin into the chest. Think of bringing that spine out away from you. And then come to a flat, neutral back. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead, and then exhale into heart. We're going to do this 1 more time. Nice inhale here. Exhale, nice little gentle flow. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands right above the knees. Inhale, the belly comes out. Look up. Exhale, spine comes out. Chin into the chest. And then come back to a flat, neutral spine. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And then exhale into heart. All right, so a little bit of warm up there. A little gentle flow. And then from here, let's bring the feet out to a pretty wide stance. Bend the knees a little bit, and then start to slide the hands down. This is a forward fold. Now just come down as far as what's appropriate for you. So the arms can be resting on the thighs if you need to. Don't be afraid to bend the knees here a little bit. And then relax your head. Think of bringing the top of your head, the crown of the head down towards your mat. Release any tension in the head, the neck, the shoulders, your arms. The jaw is relaxed. Your face is relaxed. And then come halfway up so you have a nice flat back. And then inhale, rise up all the way up. All right. Okay. Bring the feet back in. Now we're going to do a little bit of twisting. So inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And let's all twist to the right. And then bring the hands down so that now they're parallel to the floor. Roll the shoulders back and down and stretch the fingertips out away from each other. Let's hold this for a couple breaths. And then inhale, raise the arms up overhead, and then turn and twist. We'll come all the way over to our left, bringing the hands down again. Those shoulders come down away from the ears Stretch the arms out. Arms are parallel to the floor. And then inhale, raise the arms up. Let's do that one more time on each side, turning and twisting to the right. And bring the arms down. Again, keep those shoulders down, away from the ears. Stretch the arms out. And then inhale, raise the arms up. One more time on that left side, turning and twisting, bringing the arms down. Let's take a few breaths here. And then raise the arms up, coming back to center, and then bringing the hands down. All right. From here, we're going to come to a little bit, let's come to the middle of our mat. That'll work best here. And then with your left foot, bring that foot out to a 45-degree angle. So instead of being straight on with the front of your mat, bring it out to about a 45. And then take a big step with that right foot. We're going to do some warrior ones here. Now, when you come into warrior one, the first thing that you want to do, hands on your hips, square your body with the front of your mat here. So we're not here at an angle. We're here squaring the hips with the front here. And then start to bend that front knee. Now look down. You should be able to see the toes. If you want a little bit more of depth in that pose, you can bring the front foot forward a little bit more. You see how I'm kind of inching the foot up a little bit so that I can go maybe a little bit deeper. But you want to make sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle. It's really important because that will damage your knee there. Now, once you're at a place where you're feeling pretty comfortable and want to feel solid, you're pressing down into that front foot and you're pressing back through the back heel. And then raise the arms up overhead. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. And then this is our warrior one. And we're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. You're still pressing down into both feet, both the front as well as the back. Focus on your breath. The chin is parallel to the floor. And then bring the hands to the hips and then straighten that leg. As you inhale, think of extending up through the crown of the head here. Elongate your spine first and then start to bend forward. But only come maybe a quarter, a halfway down here. And think of bringing the belly button back towards the spine. So this is actually working your core. Maybe press that right hip back just a little bit so you square off the hips. And then rise on up, bend that front knee again, and then bring the arms up overhead. Go back into your warrior one. Nice strong bodies here. Don't forget about that back leg. So you're pressing back through that back leg as much as you're pressing down into the front foot. And then bring your hands to your hips. And then you can step forward or step back. And then, of course, we want to do that on the other side. So the right foot comes to about a 45-degree angle. And then step forward with that left. Hands on the hips. Square your hips with the front of your mat. And then start to bend that front knee. Again, if you want a little bit more depth into that, you're going to start to bring the foot just gently towards the front of your mat. And then find that sweet spot for you. So you're pressing down into the front foot, but you're also pressing back through that back heel. And then inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Nice strong warrior ones. And then bring the hands to the hips. Straighten that front knee. As you inhale, elongate up through the spine first. And then as you exhale, start to bend forward. We're only coming about a quarter to halfway down. And again, use your core muscles here. So think of bringing the belly button back towards the spine. You're not holding the breath. You want to be breathing in and out. And then slowly come back up. Bend that front knee. Look down. You should be able to see the toes. And then raise the arms up overhead, coming into your warrior one again. Focus on your breath here. You're breathing in and out gently through the nose. And then bring your hands to the hips, and then you can step forward or step back and walk that out a little bit. All right, we're going to do a little bit of balance. So with your balance, if you need to use a chair or a wall to bring yourself to the wall for a little bit of support, don't be afraid to do that. We're going to start out today with tree. You're probably all familiar with tree. This one is a little bit of a modification to tree. So you're going to, let's all start by pressing the left foot down into the floor and bending the right knee. What you're going to do is you're going to cross that foot over. So it's a little bit of a modification to your tree pose here. Keep one hand on your chair or the back to your wall if you need that. And then bring your other hand to your heart center. Think of pressing down into that standing leg. So it'll be your left foot. And then extend all the way up through the crown of the head, out through the crown. And then this might be your tree for today. Or if you've got the balance and you want to bring both hands into heart center, you can. Focus on one point. Focus on your breath. And then you can bring one hand or both arms up. And smile. Trees are happy trees. And then bring your hands back to heart center or one hand to your chair. And then we're going to gently release that. And then, of course, we'll need to do that same thing on the other side. So shift your weight to the right foot. Bend that left knee. Bring it across. And then bring one hand into your heart. Press down into that standing leg. So it'll be your right foot. And extend all the way up through and out the crown of the head. And then again, you can stay here, or if it's in your practice, you can bring both hands into your heart center. One side might be a little bit more in balance than the other, or stronger. Remember, to get balance, we have to strengthen our bodies first. We're strengthening the feet, the ankles, the legs, the hips, as well as your core. Once we have the strength built, then the balance comes pretty easy. You can bring one or both hands up towards the sky, branching out here. And then smile. And then bring the hands back down into heart. And maybe one hand to the chair as you release that. All right. So even if you don't feel like smiling, smile. And the reason why that is it's actually been medically proven that when we smile, even if you are sad and you smile, you raise the endorphins. And endorphins are those feel-good emotions, the serotonin, dopamine, those types of endorphins in our body. So don't be afraid to smile, even if you don't think that you're real happy right now. You still can smile. I always say fake it until you make it. But it actually increases the endorphins in our body when we do that. All right, we're going to do some leg strengthening exercises today. So you can maybe use a chair if you need to, or a side wall. You'll want to come out away from the wall because we're going to bring the legs out to the side. So you want to make sure that we're going to start with our right foot. So it'll be your outside foot if you're either facing this way on a wall or on a chair. And then bring the foot out and then back in. And we're going to do, let's do 10 of these. So this would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Let's go to the other side so that we can do that other side leg. So bring the leg out and back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. We're going to go back to that other side and use the outside leg again. This time we're going to bring the knee up towards the chest. You can have one hand here on the chair or your wall for support. And then we're going to do that 10 times. So this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we'll stay on that same side. We're going to do the inside knee. So knee up to the chest and back down. This would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good job. We got one more to do, one more exercise. This one, we combine those two movements together. So let's start with our outside leg. Bring the knee up towards the chest and down, and then out to the side and back in. And we're going to do 8 of those. So up towards the knee and down, out to the side, back in. Up and out. Up and out. This would be number 5 and out. 6 and out. 7 and out. Last one. 8 and out. Good job. All right. Other side. It'd be your outside foot and leg. So you bring the knee up and then out. It'd be 2, out, up, and out, up, and out. This is 5. We only have 3 more after this. You can smile again. 2 more, and out. And then the last one, and out. All right, good job. Okay, let's sit. Again, you can either sit on your mat or sit in a chair. Your choice here. And then hands on the hips. Again, let's do some nice big circles here, loosening up that lower back again. And then sit up nice and tall and then go the other direction. All right, now the next exercise we do, if you're on the floor, if you're on a mat, what you're going to do is you're going to keep the left foot on the floor with the left knee bent, and you're going to bring the leg straight up. Okay, that's if you're on the floor. If you're seated, you're in a chair, you're simply going to lift the right leg up. Okay, so we're lifting that leg up, and either way, I want you to press the heel out away from you, and then flex the foot. Point the foot, and then flex the foot. So we've already done this exercise once, but if you're on your back on the floor, it's going to feel maybe a little bit different. But then the next time you flex the foot, keep the foot out, and then you're going to turn and bring the heel. Notice how my heel is. My heel is pointing in, and the toes are pointing out. You're going to keep that foot the way that it is at an angle, and then point and flex. And whether you're sitting in a chair or if you're on your back, you're going to do that same thing. The heel comes in, toes are pointing out, you're flexing the foot. This is very good for sciatica, that sciatic nerve that runs down the leg. Then everybody flex their foot, keep it flexed, and then turn. And now you're going to turn so that now the heel is pointing out and the toes are pointing in. Doesn't matter if you're sitting in a chair or you're on your back on the mat. It's the same thing with your leg here. And then point and flex. Keep that foot at an angle. Again, very good for the sciatic nerve that runs down the leg. And then press the heel out, turn the foot so the toe is pointing out, and then release that foot. And then, of course, we need to do the other side. So if you're on your mat, you'll bring that both feet down first. Both feet are on your mat. Keep that right knee bent and bring the left leg up. And then we straighten the leg and point and flex first. And again, we've already done this. Just do a little bit more here. If you need to hold that leg, you can do that. And then press the heel out away from you. And then again, turn. And now the heel is pointing in. The toes are pointing out. And then keep that foot in an angle and point and flex. And then flex the foot and then turn back through center. And now bringing the heel pointing out, toes pointing in. And keeping that foot at an angle, point and flex. We're stretching out that sciatic nerve. Press the heel out, turn the foot back to a neutral position, and then bring that foot down. If you're on your mat, you can have both feet on the floor with your knees bent. So just a little bit about how that works. It's very good, again, for the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve splits off at the base of the spine and goes down the legs. It's one of the biggest nerves in your body. It's actually about the size, the diameter of your little finger. So it's a very large nerve that goes down the legs here. As we age, what usually happens is that nerve gets smaller, so it decreases. It gets shorter, I should say, shorter. And that pulling is a lot of times what causes that pain, that pulling. It's pulling and usually pressing against another nerve or something that's in the lower back, and it can cause a lot of pain. If you've ever had sciatica before, you know it can be extremely painful. So those exercises that we're doing, think of almost like a rubber band that you're stretching out and then bringing back in and stretching out. And if you had a rubber band that was really, really tight, that's one of the things that sometimes you'll do with a rubber band is stretch that out, bring it back in, stretch it out so that it loosens up a little bit. And that's exactly what we're doing with that sciatic nerve when we do that exercise, is we're stretching that nerve out a little bit and then bringing it back in so that eventually the length of that nerve starts to come out a little bit and we don't have as much pain. So that's the reason for that. All right. So it's time for our short little guided meditation. If you're on the floor, or you want to be on the floor, you can certainly do that. The knees can be bent, or you can bring your legs out so that you're lying flat. So your choice. If you're seated in a chair, your feet preferably flat on the floor here as well, so that you're nice and grounded. And then let's close down the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale this time with a sigh. And let go. We're going to do that a couple more times. So a nice deep breath in. And exhale with a sigh. Allow yourself to start relaxing completely. Nice deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Relax even more. And starting with the head, let's work down the body. It's almost like a wave of energy or a wave of water moving down the body here. So starting at the very top or crown of the head, and start relaxing the forehead, your cheeks and the jaws, the mouth, the throat. Relax your neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands and fingers. As you breathe in, feel the lungs expand. And as you exhale, release and letting go. Relaxing the middle back, the lower back, the hips and thighs, the legs, the knees, the calves, ankles, feet, and toes are all relaxed. And just notice your breath. Start to quiet your body. Begin to quiet the mind. You can focus your attention on your breath. And try not to control the breath. Simply watch your body breathing. And if other thoughts come into the mind, you can give your mind a job by simply saying, I am breathing in each time you inhale, and saying to yourself, I am breathing out each time you exhale. Let it give your mind something to do and remain focused. Relax the entire body. When we practice quieting our body, we also practice quieting the mind. Each time we practice calming the body, we're also practicing calming our mind. And then begin to deepen your breath. Expand that inhalation just a little bit. Bring in a little bit more air. Again, noticing your chest rise and fall. And then wiggle the toes a little bit here, the fingers. And if you're on your mat, on your back, you can move any way that you need to, and then eventually move yourself over to your right side. Our eyes are closed with an inward focus. Feeling a stillness and a calmness that we've cultivated from our practice. And thanking ourselves for showing up today, doing something for our health and well-being. And if you're on your side, on your mat, you can gently move yourself up into a seated position, taking your time. There's no rush. Keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands together and bring our hands into our heart center. Let's think of one thing that we can be grateful for today. One thing that puts a smile on our face, joy in our hearts. And then I'll end our practice with a short prayer. May all beings find health, happiness, and inner peace. We end our practice with Namaste. I honor the light in you. Namaste. All right. Okay, everyone. Today is Friday, May 8th. All is well. We have a nice weekend, everyone.